Alex in the Stateside Press and Jornel Lugo, who returns to action at Bellator 278. Jornel, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you. How's everything, Alex?
Good, man. Good. Everything's good on my side, man. You said that you're coming from practice. What'd you do today?
Today I just did some drilling earlier with my friends, and then went and did some cardio work after that.
Awesome, awesome, man. You're 10 days out. How you feeling?
Good, weight is on point since I just fought February 25th, so I don't really have to do too much as far as my weight. It's kind of just maintenance. My cardio's good still because I just finished fighting. So it's pretty much just sharpening up, making sure I'm prepared to fight.
Awesome. But before we talk about your upcoming fight, I saw that you re-signed with Bellator, a new contract. How does that feel?
Great, man. That's the one thing that I wanted before moving on. If I was gonna take this fight, I was like, I want a new contract and things like that, and they gave it to me. So definitely excited and better pay. So I'm able to provide for my family, things like that, even better now. So happy about that.
Awesome. You fought in enemy territory last fight and you won. How was that experience?
It was good. The people in Ireland, super nice, well mannered. You go over there, if they open the door for you, you better say thank you. They're gonna check you if you don't say something. So I like the Irish people over there, man. They're real social people.
Awesome. How did you feel about that performance?
I felt good about it. I liked it. Watching it back, I definitely felt like I was I did what I had to do to get the win. But there were some things that I could have done better, and that I'll be implementing going forward into my next fights.
Cool. Awesome. All right, Bellator 278. You're fighting in Hawaii. How does that feel?
Good. I'm happy because actually my last fight, what's funny is in my last fight, I was getting my hands wrapped, and the guy that was wrapping my hands, he travels around the world to wrap hands, and we asked him, is this the best crowd? Is the Irish crowd the best crowd? And he said, no, there's actually one crowd better. And I said, which crowd is that? He said, the Hawaii crowd. So what are the odds? Now we're fighting here. Right after that, we're going to Hawaii,
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you ever been to Hawaii before?
No, never. But this is one of the places I've always wanted to come. I would be like, if I didn't live in Florida, I live in Hawaii, so I'm excited to go over there.
Awesome. All right. So Danny Sabatello, bro. Before we talk about the matchup, he's been talking so much shit. Have you fought someone before that's talked this much trash? I mean, maybe Keith Lee, but I mean, this is on a whole different level, right?
Nah, Keith Lee didn't talk anything. He was a nice guy. I actually did. Funny stories. I have one of my main training partners now. His name is Alex Rogers, and he talked a lot. It was my last amateur fight.
All right.
You remember that?
Yep.
Before that fight, he was running his mouth a lot. But funny story about that is now he's like a really good friend of mine, and we train together. Like I just trained with him just now. Now, like, yeah, we're like really good friends. So I don't see this one going that way because Danny Sabatello's my friend was just a little bit lost in his ways at that particular time, and now he's found Christ and he's a completely different person than what he used to be. But Danny Sabatello is a different type of breed. He's rotten to the core. You know what I'm saying? Before I've ever even heard of him, he's been rotten. So the first time I ever seen him, he was already carrying himself that way. Never wanted to touch anybody's gloves. Not saying that you have to touch gloves, but like just really mean, really nasty towards all his opponents. Always running his mouth. So he's somebody that I didn't like since way back, So I'm glad that I get to go in there and humble this guy. We don't need somebody like that influencing the younger culture. We don't need somebody like that to get a platform to where everybody thinks, hey, this is how you have to be. Because we don't want to live in a world with people like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, for sure. So I talked to him and he told me that he thinks you suck, you're boring, and he wants to pummel you. How do you respond to that?
Have you ever seen him fight?
I have.
So who's the boring one? You tell me. You don't have to be biased. Just Look, next question. We don't have to answer that. Come on, we already know.
All right, let's transition. Is Sabatello's trash talk getting under your skin at all?
No, man. Look, that's the kind of guy he is, and ultimately at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. And I think he would say that no matter who he was fighting. He could be fighting Peter Yan, Aljamain Sterling, anybody, the best of the best, and he would say that they suck. He'd be fighting John Jones. He sucks at everything he does. This guy's going to say whatever comes to his mind. He says, oh, I suck at stand-up. I suck at grappling. Like, if you've seen me fight, are you serious? Or are you just making stuff up? You know what I'm saying? He says, I'm going to maul you. I'm going to beat the crap out of you. Who have you mauled and beat the crap out of? If you were mauling people and beating the crap out of people, the crowd wouldn't be booing you every time you fight. If you watch this fight with Damone Blackshear, the crowd was booing him. He had to cuss the crowd out and say, if you don't like my style, come beat me. Why would you have to say that if your style was so exciting and so fun and people were enjoying you? Why didn't Dana White sign you? If you're so good, why didn't you get signed? You see what I'm saying? So the things that he says, they held zero weight. It's complete nonsense. I don't care what he says.
Gotcha. What do you think of the matchup?
I think the matchup is I'm better. And look, I'm not being arrogant. I'm just saying, if you watch us fight, the one thing he is good at is his tenacity, his ability to really try his best to take you down and to try his best to hold you down. His stand-up is not good. His range is not good. His clinch work is not good. His grappling from the bottom is trash. Have you seen it with him versus Brett Johns when he was on his back? It wasn't good. He submits no one who's actually halfway decent. And then you watch me fight, and once again, I'm not being arrogant. Watch me fight. I'm this. My last opponent, Brian Moore, said whoever won that fight had the best stand-up in the bantamweight division. I didn't say that. He said that. I won that fight. No one's dominated me on the ground. I've dominated others on the ground and got up at will in all of my fights. If you just look at our styles overall, I'm the one who brings different things to the table every time I fight. Remember the first fight you see me fight? Did I stand or did I grapple? What did I do?
You grappled. You wrestled.
I wrestled the entire time. My last fight, did I stand or did I wrestle? Did you watch it?
Yes, you did a little bit of both.
I stood the whole time. So I do different. I have a lot to bring to the table. All 12 of his fights, what did he do? Stand or grapple?
He wrestled.
He wrestled the entire time. So I bring a lot more to the table. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm just speaking literally the facts,
Yeah, no, for sure. And you're
receipts.
Speaking facts, yeah. Speaking facts, I mean, there's nothing really to say, to be honest. When it's all said and done, April 22nd, how do you get this fight done?
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna stop him. I think I'm gonna go in there and he thinks I'm gonna go in there and point fight. So we shall see if I'm gonna point fight. I think I'm gonna stop him. I think he's gonna try his best to hug me and hold me tight like it's Valentine's Day, the way he always does. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna stop him, man. Come on, let's be serious here. I'm telling you, man, Superman returns every time he fights, just shooting the entire time, just shooting. So I think I'm gonna stop him for sure.
Awesome. And then finally for me, man, of all the fighters in the Grand Prix, who do you want to fight the most? Not looking past Sabatello, but whole Grand Prix. Who is a dream matchup to you?
I want to fight Stotts the most, just because he has the most respect. I like all these guys. I think all of them I think they're all good fighters and things like that. But I'm just looking at who has the most respect. And right now, Rafion Stotts has a nice buzz. Everyone thinks he's the best. They think he's the guy in the division to beat. Horiguchi too. He's another one that's really good. So both of those actually are really good fight matches to win. But Stotts right now seems like he has the biggest wave. So for me to fight him and beat him, I think that would be the best fight.
Jornel, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. If you want to plug your social media, plug any sponsors, you want to thank anybody, the floor is yours.
I just want to thank God, man, my Savior, and quick verse: "For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves; it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast." Salvation is just about believing on the Lord Jesus Christ. It's not about us being good or going to church or doing anything. All we have to do is trust in Jesus. He did all the work for us by dying, being buried, and rising again. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at A Uno Lugo.